Okay, guys, welcome to the Allez, Liverpool podcast. We haven't done one for a while for various reasons, but we're back now.
Yeah, mostly my fault, admittedly, because we did record, actually, we did record one, but some idiot messed up the sound and didn't record any of it. It's probably the best podcast we've ever done as well, especially when it was without the sound. I should have just posted that up.
Yeah, I was going to blame you if you hadn't rudely interjected, but
Sorry.
still. All right. Okay, as I say, guys, welcome to the Allez podcast. Haven't done one for a while, but we're here now. So we got to start with some sad news. Bitterly sad day for all Liverpool and Newcastle fans. With the news that Kevin Keegan passed away today at the age of 75. Our thoughts and deepest condolences are with King Kevin's family and friends, and may you rest in eternal peace, Joseph Kevin Keegan. Have you got any thoughts or memories about the great man?
Well, for me, he left Liverpool. I was just a bit, tiny, so I don't remember him. But what I do remember is me nan in the parlour, because she always had a parlour, where you weren't allowed in unless it was unless it was a guest visiting. Was the only time anybody was allowed in there. That was what it was for, literally just that. But in there, she had
You
a
mean
load
the
of
swingers,
pictures.
the swingers parlor?
Me nan, Christ, you don't know me nan. Oh
I
my
know.
God, oh my God. The only thing she swung was her handbag. Oh my God, no, she was psychotic.
Brutal.
Yeah, oh yeah, she was scary. When the flashed her once, she just looked at it and went, "Is that it?"
You flashed your grandmother.
No, somebody flashed her in the
Oh,
street,
somebody. I thought.
and
Oh,
she
right.
just started laughing and said, "Is that it?"
Story of your life, eh?
Yeah, no, that wasn't me, honestly. Just like to point that out. Anyway, yeah, so the Kevin Keegan thing, anyway, in my nan's parlour, which was like the room no one was allowed in, there was a load of pictures of Keegan with my uncle. Because when he gone up to Melwood, I can't remember what it was for now. I did get told the story a long time ago. Anyway, the thing was he was to meet the whole Liverpool team, but all he was bothered about was meeting Keegan. And he just had a load of photographs of him with Keegan, and they were all over the parlour because he wanted to show them off because it was his hero. That was his favourite player ever at the time.
My earliest and first footballing memory, I was 4 years of age, so it would have been 1977, and I remember, vaguely remember, vividly remember, sorry, Kevin Keegan leaving Liverpool, and me thinking, even at 4 years of age, thinking, how are we going to replace this guy? My footballing IQ was high even then. But little did I know we were going to sign Kenny Dalglish. But also, apart from all the great memory, the great goals he scored, and the graceful guy he was, I remember two things. And ironically enough, they weren't even for Liverpool when he was Newcastle manager. Obviously, that run he had with for the title against Man United, and when Aspria was in the team then, and they were going for the title, and obviously that iconic Sky Sports interview. I'd love it if we beat them. That stood out, and also the day they signed Alan Shearer, that interview he did where he was just full of grace and goodwill to the supporters, saying, you spend your money, hard-earned money, at this football club, and it's Kevin Keegan's job to invest it wisely. He's invested it wisely in Alan Shearer. Oh boy, did he invest it wisely. But it was like I keep saying, it was such a sweet and everyman interview that really, really touched me, and it stayed with me.
I mean, do you often think he always gets left out of the conversation? Now, people have been saying this at the top 10, when you say who's the top 10, he often gets left out, forgotten. Do you think that's because he went abroad? And in those days, obviously, you couldn't watch. I mean, I grew up, never saw him play. Never. You know, because
No,
obviously he couldn't watch foreign football then. He was at Hamburg. Do you think he gets left out because he was away there for
and
so
he won the
long at the
Ballon
peak of
d'Or,
his
and
career? Yeah,
he won the Ballon
twice,
d'Or at
didn't he?
Hamburg twice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And but to answer your question, I think the reason he gets left out is because obviously football. There was no football before the Premier League started. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think that's why he gets left out.
Of course, good point.
And the other thing is, I think why he gets left out is because, as great as he was, Kenny Dalglish took over his mantle and just became the best player in the world. And it was, and he did it for a considerably long period of time at Liverpool, and he became player manager, won things all throughout his career. So I think that's another reason Keegan gets left out of that all-time list. But you're right. I would, retrospectively, yes, he'd be in there. Fantastic footballer, fantastic human being. I mean, I've never heard a bad word against him. I've never heard anybody say a bad word against him, you know.
After my uncle, I mean, if you had like, you know, I used to ask him about him sometimes because I'd never seen him play, and he would go on and on and on, and I'd always think, wish I hadn't bloody asked now, because there was just so much he had to tell. He loved him, absolutely adores him.
Well, as I said, pal, may you rest in
Yeah,
peace. And,
big loss.
massive loss. All right, so listen, I wanted to ask you a question. It's a very pertinent question.
Pertinent or personal?
Pertinent. You haven't got a private life, so I
I
won't
was
be
going to
asking.
say, yeah, it can't be about
yeah.
that, yeah.
So Ed025 said that Everton are lining up Anthony Barry for the Everton manager's job. What I want to know is, who the fuck is Anthony Barry?
He's England's assistant manager. He's an ex-Everton trainee. I don't know how many appearances he might have made. A few, but he wasn't like a well-known name. You know what I mean? I think he went off to lower leagues and that. You know
Still
what I
isn't.
mean? Yeah, exactly. But like, I mean, he's got to the England's assistant manager's job and that, like. But I mean, you know, it's one of those. He's a bit like Brian Kidd, where before he became, you know, before he went out on his own, you know, unless you knew football, you wouldn't know who he was. You know what I mean?
I can tell you players in obscure football leagues around the world, but I have no clue who Anthony Barry is.
He's Evertonian, so you wouldn't know, would you? Because you're talking about real football rather than shit kickers, aren't you? So,
All right, let's talking about shit kickers. That's a great segue. We'll have to start with the World Cup final.
oh,
I've had enough of talking about it for the last 24 hours, so I'm going to let you have the floor, mate. Let me know your thoughts.
oh God. Well, I mean, I think the two people summed up that. I mean, the first half was just dire. I mean, but I think two people summed up the first half really well in that, like at half time, Bakary Sagna on the local TV here said the first half was as boring as that half time show we've just watched. And the
Saka.
second, no,
Saka,
Sagna,
not Saka.
Bakary Sagna. He used
Is
to
that
play
his
for
name?
Arsenal. Yeah, he used to play
Oh,
for Arsenal.
Bakary. I thought you said Saka.
No, Bakary Sagna. He used to play
Okay,
for
gotcha.
Arsenal. Yeah, he was a right
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And then like, obviously Rooney said it was crap, and that was, you know, the halftime show, and they're both right. That's the first half was as bad as the halftime show. They were just an absolute terrible.
I
Mostly
just,
the refereeing didn't help.
I
Too
just
weak.
thought, I just thought Madonna looked heavily constipated. I felt sorry for her.
To be honest, I didn't watch the halftime show.
You didn't know? Well, you didn't
No,
miss much.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I just saw
I,
it was on, but I went and had a pee, made a cup, came back. It was still going on, so I went and made another cup.
I thought it was a good game of football, to be honest with you.
Second
I
half
thought
was
it was.
better.
I thought it was a good game of football. I thought it was defense against attack, and I thought it was. I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable. At no point did I think that Argentina were going to win it. They didn't start playing until the last 2 minutes of the game. So they had a great chance at the end of the match. Possibly should have gone to penalties if they'd have scored that, but I could have seen them winning it if it had gone to penalties. It would have been the biggest miscarriage of justice ever. I thought Spain were magnificent throughout. I mean, in the last against France, and Argentina, and they won with style, panache, and grace.
I was just surprised they didn't find a way to rule out the goal. I'm sure they had a good look and tried to find a way because they were desperate. Like they rigged last one, didn't they, to make sure Messi won one? I'm sure they were trying their best this time as well.
I'm sure they're trying to. I'm sure tomorrow they'll say Nico Williams is was
Yeah.
ineligible to play, and
Yeah, they'll award the game to.
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, listen, I know you didn't watch much of it. You only watched the last few games, but
Do you know why
listen,
I started watching them? Did I tell you? Because I
no,
didn't pay. I wouldn't pay because I saw like it was like 200 quid here to watch it.
yeah,
I'm not fucking paying that for a subscription to watch one set. For a month of matches. Not. I didn't notice I had a free voucher all along to what I could have watched it all from the start. But I only
oh
noticed it just before the semis, like so. I was like,
well, we know where you were when they were handing out common sense in the kitchen making
yeah.
cups of tea. So,
Well, I just never thought to look something like that.
oh well, at least you got the quarters, didn't you, and the semis
No,
and
just the
the
semis. I would have liked to have seen. See, I would have liked to have seen Egypt how they got on and that. Because especially as it was so controversial that Egypt Argentina game, I would have liked to have seen more than just the controversy to see how bad it was. Especially as the lads here were all like
yeah,
constantly, because there's a lot of Egyptians working in this building, and
yeah,
I get accosted all the time to talk about it. So. I
yeah.
would have liked to have seen it just so I could actually discuss it with them rather than just having, oh, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, you saw the semi-final, right? The France versus. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, they were the top two teams in the. Well, I don't know. Listen, England had a fair shout. I think England might have won it if they'd have got through to the final, but I mean, there's no saying that they wouldn't have done. But who knows? But let's just say, probably on paper, the justice prevailed and the best team won.
Could you imagine England Argentina in the final, though? If it had been an England Argentina final, could you imagine it? The two of them, neither of them had crossed the halfway line. They'd have just had.
It's yeah, it would have been a war. It would have been attrition, wouldn't it? Really?
Well, they'd have just sat there like waiting for the other to go. Or a lot of attacking, it's we could leave some openings at the back, so everybody behind the ball, even when they've got it.
All right, let's have your opinion on Tuchel. Should he stay or should he go?
Shouldn't have been appointed in the first place. He's the most. He's the luckiest. I told you this before. He's pure spawn because he walks into decent teams and then destroys them because he can't get on with anybody above him and he can't get on with the players. He'll fall out with everyone. He's already done it with Bellingham. He's constantly doing it with others as well. He makes snide little digs at them constantly. He's completely opposite to Klopp. Klopp gets the players and and they love him because they Tuchel's the anti-Klopp because he does the exact opposite. He just ends up starting a fight with them, and he could start a fight in an empty room. He's arrogant, narcissistic. I don't like Tuchel at all. I wouldn't have him anywhere near any job.
Tell us how you really feel, mate.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should get off the fence, really, shouldn't I? I know you like him, though, don't you?
I thought he was great at Chelsea. I thought he played great football. I don't know what happened. I thought they played attacking football. I thought it was measured. That's what my recollection was. He was great at Borussia Dortmund. Listen, I can see why people are looking for him to get fired, but I mean, it's a lot of money to fire him. Will they give him the Euros? I give him the Euros.
Just because they gave him a new contract just before the tournament even bloody started. I mean, how
I'd give him the
stupid's that?
Euros. I'd give him the Euros and go and get
give him a
Guardiola.
Euro to fuck off back to Europe. That's all.
Personally, I'd give him the Euros, and then I'd try and do all my level best to get Guardiola.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is if it's not Guardiola, who is there out there? And I hear Italy are trying to get Guardiola, aren't they, at the moment?
Really?
Yeah, because you want Germany, Italy, Klopp versus Pep.
Oof.
Because they hate each other anyway, the Germans and the Italians. So
My friends in football circles in Italy say, listen, they could get Klopp. I mean, they could get Klopp and Pep, but they said they're just not producing any talent. They've gone to the halcyon days where they used to produce all the Baggios and the all the top players. What's the defender that won the Ballon d'Or? Not Costa Curta.
Cannavaro.
Cannavaro. Yeah. So gone are those players. They're not producing them anymore. The Pirlos, the left winger for Juventus, Del Piero.
Yeah.
They're not there anymore. They're not producing them. The academies are not producing them. So he's bereft. He thinks they're not going to do anything for at least 5-10 years. Anyway, it's a Liverpool podcast. Let's talk about Liverpool. So let's
we're not going to talk about like how well Muniz got. Oh no, he didn't play. How well McAllister got in the final. Then did he play? Can't remember.
McAllister.
Yeah, I mean
he didn't have a good game yesterday. He had a great tour. I think he had a really good tournament. Let's talk about him later because when we're talking about transfers.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back a week or so ago. Liverpool announcing Michael Edwards leaving. What's your thoughts, mate?
That's as happy as when Slot went. I tell you, I was celebrating. I'm so glad. Just waiting on Hughes to go now. Obviously, after the transfer window shuts at some point.
You think that's going to happen?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. What's the buzz in the land of the sand?
Unfortunately, because the season's over, I've not been, I've not been, and they're away, the team's away, so I can't even bump into the owner and that because he's away, they're all away in Austria. So it's like kind of difficult to bump into. Nobody's about. Everyone goes. Most people go away for summer.
Too hot.
The ones here, they're rich enough. The ones that go to games with us, they're that fucking rich. They can go away for a couple of months and just enjoy the cold weather, somewhere else.
Yeah. So Edwards, he was seduced back to Liverpool in March 2024 because he was told that Liverpool were going to buy a feeder club and this multi-club ownership thing.
And he was going to have full control of transfers.
Okay, all right, yeah. And FSG reneged on that. I don't know whether that was sneaky on FSG's part or it was part of the UEFA tightening up the multi-club ownership situation. I don't know. But what we do know is that Michael Edwards has left.
From what I gathered, they were going to do a partnership with somebody else to go into buy another club. And that was the issue is the partnership, they was minor part. One was, I don't know which way round. I'm assuming FSG were going to be the major partners, somebody else as a minor. And the others, changed their mind.
Right, gotcha.
With the war situation, I think that didn't help a lot, because a lot of people are tightening their belts, aren't they, to be careful.
Yeah. So John Barnes said in his quote the other day, he said, sporting directors don't win you premierships or Champions Leagues or words to that effect. I think he's got it spot on.
To a degree, but like nowadays in the modern game, they pick the manager or coach, whichever way you want to put it, and they supply the players. So to a degree, they do have a hand in it. They are involved.
Yeah,
they are important.
Listen, I mean, there is Liverpool. One thing they're good at. Well, I don't know now, but they put. They're normally strategic, but I don't know what happens now. All we know is that Michael Gordon is playing a bigger part in the club, which is a great thing.
The thing is, Edwards wasn't needed anyway. Without a second club, unless they bought more clubs, there was no need for Edwards. His role was defunct. As soon as they didn't buy a second club, there was no point in him. He was there to be, to do a cohesive strategy between the clubs. You know what I mean? The intention was 3, 4, 5, and they'd all still be having him setting the overall strategy. You know what I mean? And running the whole recruitment strategy so that they could move the players between the clubs easily and stuff like that. So without a second club, his role basically was a pointless one anyway. So him going has made no difference apart from he's an arsehole who interferes with things he shouldn't be interfering with, and is basically not very good at his job either. So but I mean, he's best gone. Let's be honest.
So you think, I'm assuming that he was riding the coattails of Klopp?
And Ian Graham.
Ian Graham, yeah.
Mm.
Whose book
And
is excellent.
yeah, he's very good.
His book is very fascinating read. I'd recommend anybody to read that. But okay, so it's a new dawn at Liverpool with obviously Slot gone, Arola coming on board, Edwards gone, Richard Hughes going. I think, I mean, to be honest with you, the rumours are this Woodfine bloke is going to take over. I have no idea who that is. Obviously, I've heard the name. I don't know his credentials. I don't know what how
He's
good he is.
Barrier sporting director.
Exactly. The unknown quantity. Yeah.
It's everything, even like he's the number 2 as well, like Barriers at England.
I still have no idea who this guy is. I Google it and I still don't know who he is.
Oh, bless.
So, have you heard of any? Do you know who Woodfine is?
Only from like he's the one of the main assistants there, like. You know, it's difficult to tell because it's hard to find out unless someone actually steps out and gives you specific info or writes a book or does podcast, whatever. You know what I mean?
And the problem is they don't talk either. They don't give interviews, so you can't get a sense of what they're about. But I mean, Julian Ward
did. Who was the one that did all them? Went round all the podcasts talking about himself and how great he was. He was
Go on.
I can't think of who was it that he went round all the podcast. I remember I was said. I can't remember who it was now, and he literally went around telling everyone how great he was.
Oh, it wasn't Ward or Graham. I know it wasn't. No. Under Klopp?
Yeah, it was. You know what I mean? The assistant, Linders.
Oh yeah, he's a man.
Linders,
No, he's
not
not
a man.
I'm saying,
you know, but I'm saying unless they do something like you get someone like that, it's very difficult. That's what I was trying to say. It's very difficult to actually get any info because you know people like that they go on and they talk shit basically. You know what I mean? The ones that do tend to come out.
Yeah,
it's rare.
Well, listen, the positive is Michael Gordon's running is sailing the ship now, so there's going to be somewhat some type of like what's the word I'm looking for? Stability for the foreseeable future.
Because he only stepped aside to allow Edwards to take over, to come in. That was the plan. He moved aside, just concentrate on the commercial, let Edwards run the sporting side of it, and, go from there. It should never have happened. Should have kept him there.
Because him and Klopp were a double act, weren't they? They got on really well, and they got and there were whispers that Klopp recommended Honus as well to Gordon. And that's the way that's the way Edwards wanted to go. But Edwards and Hughes wanted Arola.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the way you mean Gordon wanted to go.
Gordon wanted to go to
it's
the
Hughes
route
that
of
wanted
Honus.
Areola.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know what? I think we made
good choice.
I think we made the right choice because Honus was an unknown. Arola's done it in the Premiership, and I'm safe in the knowledge. I think I'm safe with that appointment, to be honest with you.
And he wanted the job so bad.
Yeah,
he wanted the job, really wanted it. You know what I mean?
Listen, it leads me on to my next point about the impression he made at the press conference. I mean, it couldn't have been it was a polar opposite of Klopp's press conference. You know, it was like very, very subdued kind of thing.
Oh, right. See what you mean, yeah.
You know, he was very humble, and obviously Klopp was as well. But, you know, it was just like what a nice guy.
Mm.
You know, no ego. You know, I've only signed a 2-year contract. The reason I signed a 2-year contract was because I want to be rewarded for good work. If I do good work, offer me another contract. I'm not here just to take your money.
Mm.
It's unheard of.
Yeah. I really like him. Everything I've heard about him though from the start, I mean he looks like a friend of my mum and dad. So it's always been a bit of a joke between, it's Anthony on the TV again. You
Do you
know.
reckon he'd be allowed in the parlour?
Yeah. Not with me nan there. She was an Evertonian.
Yeah. So listen, I think he's a very likable chap. I think the players will do. They'll go that extra mile for him. He's not going to throw people under the bus. And I love, and people are slamming him for not signing a longer contract. I think that's a beautiful thing he did.
I don't
You know,
see that it matters.
it doesn't matter at all.
No, I don't
Why?
understand that one. I'd rather he signed the shorter one because you can just keep giving him another one anyway in 2 years' time. What's the
Exactly.
issue?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
exactly. Well, he underlined the need for players
Mm.
in his press conference. Did you listen to it?
Yes, I listened to it all in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to, but I thought, sod it. You know what I mean? I'm going to have a look at it, and I.
He's your boy as well. You
Yeah.
can't not let him down on his
Yeah.
first.
After all, I've been championing him for a while,
Yeah.
so I had
It's
to
been
get
at least.
back him.
I remember. Yeah, you have been championing.
Mm.
So yeah. So okay. So players. Let's talk about players. Okay, we've got 2 transfers done already. People forget we've got Xhaka and Munoz through the door.
Mm.
So I mean, there is 6 weeks left of the transfer season left. Transfer 6 weeks, I think. 31st of August, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah. So what's Jackie like? Because you're the one that's watched him.
Uh,
I haven't seen him.
I I think and I hope that this guy he'll be one of the top 5 defenders in centre backs in world football within 2 years.
Just
For sure.
before we go any further, remind me what you said about Naby Keita before we signed him as well.
Hey, listen, it's not.
No, I'm joking.
It's
He
not
was.
my
I
fault.
mean,
The
he
guy was
played
a
really
signal.
good. Well, he just lost his head, didn't he, after we signed him?
And he got injured as well. So
All the time.
we always sign injured players. I don't get it. Every decent player that signs for us is injured. It just gets injured. It's not even. It started with the Italian fella under Benitez. What's his name?
You're not going to say Aquilani, surely.
Aquilani.
He was shit. He
How do you
wasn't in.
know? He
Because
never played.
no, honestly, the moment Benitez saw him train, because he just signed him off a recommendation.
Yeah.
Off his scout's recommendation. He didn't even go and have a look at him. He just signed him off his scout's recommendation. The moment he saw him training, he just went, "Oh no, what have I done?"
What have I done? Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't impressed
18
at
million.
all.
Never played. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well,
shit. That's why.
I'm very, very, very happy. Listen, I remember I gave you my wish list about a year ago, which was Diamonde, Xhaka, Kamara, and there was one other. I can't remember who it was. And listen, we nearly got 2 out of 3. What was the other one I really liked?
I can't think who it was. Was it a right? No, it was a right back, wasn't it?
It was. I can't remember who it was. But yeah. So listen, as I said, I love the fact Xhaka's at the club. He's gonna. Hopefully, his shoulder injury doesn't hamper him, and he's okay. I think he's gonna.
Injured. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was his shoulder. He had to have it operated on halfway through the season, so he hasn't played
Just
for a
after he
while.
signed for us,
Exactly. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. This underlines my point,
yeah.
mate. You know,
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. So I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, and he's going to be a number 1 pick for sure within a few months. Okay, so players that are coming in, the transfers. I read today that
I know you wanted Diamonde. Would you still take him, even though his agent's Rock Nation?
Absolutely.
Would you?
Because listen, I'm not.
I found that out, I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole.
Everybody says that, but the thing is, I don't blame the player.
Any of their clients. No,
gotcha.
there's certain. I wouldn't have touched any of what's his face that's passed away now. Mina Raiola wouldn't have touched any of his clients. From the moment if they've gone to him, they're only interested in one thing, and it's the same with Rock Nation. They're only interested in one thing, and it's not football.
I don't know. I don't think
You don't join Rock Nation because you want to play, because
I
you're
don't think we've got
interested
a,
in your career. You're
I
interested
don't
in everything else, the bling,
I
the
don't think
fun,
we've got
and
a bit.
the
I don't think we've
lifestyle.
got a. I don't think we've got a big enough sample size for Rock Nation. They haven't been around long enough. Irola, I
They
can
have
understand
been in other sports, though.
in other sports, but not football. So I can. Well, Haaland didn't do too badly for Irola. And Irola, yeah, what was the guy that passed? What was his name? Irola, right?
What?
The,
Areola?
no, the agent, Haaland's agent that passed away.
Mino Raiola?
Raiola, yeah. So
Yeah, but
he,
everything he did, if you look at the amount of money that changed hands, people are saying Haaland only cost 50 million, but they're forgetting how much Mino Raiola was paid, nearly that much as
wow.
well on top. So I mean, it's like there's little things like that. People don't realize how much money he was taking off there, on every deal. Huge amounts of money, more than
Yeah,
any other agent.
I mean,
Much
yeah,
more.
exactly. To answer your question, mate, yes, I would take him. I think he's that good because we are desperately in need of a right winger. He plays right wing better than he plays left wing, and he could have doubled up both sides and across the front three. I'd pay the money today and
Would
get him
take
on board.
Salah back then?
What's that, mate?
Salah back? Would you take that for a season?
I actually would, mate. I actually would on the right hand side because I think he needs. Let's see if it was his fault. Let's see if it was his body giving up, or was it Slot treating him like not treating him right. So yes, I would take that all day long. Bet the devil you know, and he loves the club.
We're desperate for the right winger, so yeah.
Oh, Akliucci, that was the one that I wanted.
Yes, of course, that
Yes,
was
on the right.
back.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, and he's going to PSG.
Yeah.
Yes, that was well reminded. Yeah,
I kept thinking of Buati, but it wasn't him. I know
exactly.
it wasn't him.
Yeah, he's going to surprise a lot of people. Wow, he's good.
Which one?
Yeah.
Akliossi or?
Yeah, actually, he didn't get a minute for France. He didn't get one. He didn't play at all for France in the World Cup. That surprised me.
Deschamps isn't a good manager, though, is he? Let's be honest. They won in spite of him rather than because of him. That's their title. Everything they've won is because their players are fantastic. He's held them back, if anything.
He's put the brakes on, hasn't he? Yeah, you're right. Oh, I don't like it. I wouldn't want him anywhere near Liverpool.
Oh God,
ever. So I would take Salah back for a year. I don't think it's going to happen, unless he. Well, you never know. If they say to him, look, if he says I'll take 50% drop in wages, I mean, give him 200, 250 a week. I'd do it for a year.
I don't think the issue is Salah. I think he'd play for a lot less because he's not that bothered. If he was bothered about the money, he wouldn't have agreed to have his. Wouldn't have told him to rip up his contract.
Yeah,
he could have had it paid up. But the issue isn't the money. The issue is I don't think the club would want to go down that route because I think it makes them look a bit stupid.
Yeah.
No.
The guy's never injured.
Well, he did get injured at the end of the season, and he was carrying an injury still for Egypt the entire World Cup.
But you know what I mean. I mean, he's majority of the time he's never injured. You're always going to rely on him. He's not a.
Even when he's in like he did with Egypt, he just carries on and plays through it anyway.
Yeah. But him for a year and to have somebody experienced in the team would be under the new manager would mean so much. It would galvanize the squad. I think that's a great shout. Actually, that's a really, really good shout.
What about Nunes back for a year?
I'd have him back for a year, but the maths won't add up. The maths don't math. He's not going to come back for a year because he can get a 4-year contract somewhere. Why would he do that for Liverpool? Coming on a 2-year contract.
He does like Liverpool, though. He loved it here. So. You never know. I mean, if it works out for him, one good year turns into a move anywhere he wants for a much bigger salary.
Do you think his ability has lessened since he's gone to?
Yeah,
Arabia.
he's because he's not getting he's not getting. There's no competition. I watched him train, and he was training, and they're on totally different levels. The players he was up, at training with at the Saudi side. I watched the warm out because I got there early when he was playing here, because they drew like the local team here, Shabab Al Ali played them
Yeah.
in European competition, Asian, sorry, competition, European. Yeah, anyway, so they do them in the and like obviously he was playing all the Asian games. It was before Benzema signed anyway. So we was there and I went early to watch the warm up, obviously to watch Nunes, have a good look at him. Like, mate, he's still running around causing but he was like it's like watching him still at Liverpool, where he's slotting it in the back of the net and you're thinking, why is it when it's an actual match you miss? You know what I mean? But he was on a different level from the rest of the team. They were just it's embarrassing to watch them.
Slot screwed him as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
His slot system didn't suit him. He didn't have any space whatsoever.
But he didn't do too badly. When you actually look at his stats, he wasn't that bad as people make out. He actually outperformed a lot of the players that were that nobody criticises for missing loads of shots. And you're thinking he outperformed them. He had a much better shot ratio than say Ollie Watkins, for instance, on target, and goals to shot ratio than say Ollie Watkins, but nobody was criticising him.
They just needed a scapegoat. They just wanted
Yeah.
a full guy, a laughing stock.
I mean, I know
you're
paying 85 million, so you're expecting more, but like, give the lad a take. You know what I mean? He's done well for us. We won the league with him playing regularly.
I have no problem with that kid. If he comes back tomorrow, I'd be super happy because we need him.
Just need somebody up front.
We need him because Ekitike's not. Ekitike's coming back. He's not going to be back for ages yet. So, and when he does get back, he's not going to be the player he used to be. He
not
might have
straight
to
away, even if he's, even if he can become the player he once was, it's going to take him a while to get back to form. Even any injury like that, it doesn't matter. Even if it hasn't done any damage, you still have to relearn how to move properly. You still have to, and the mental side is the biggest issue. Yeah, and it's like so. It's going to take him 6 to 12 months at minimum before he could even start to look at his back to his best you'd expect. Anyway,
I don't think he's. I think you lose 5-10% straight away with an injury like that. So
ankles,
I think that
the worry.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible, and so we need him. We need Nunes. Yeah. We need somebody. I mean, who else is there?
On Isaac, not at all.
No. Irola's going to kill him. I fear for him. I fear for Isaac's body.
I don't. I think it'll help him training harder and running harder.
I hope so. Because boy, is there a player in there. I just hope that.
But you can't leave. You can't have one player all season, one striker.
No, you
all
can't.
Season.
Not with his injury.
No. Even if he didn't have injuries, you just can't. He'd be just run into the ground. You just can't do it.
But is that Munoz? Is Munoz? I mean, Jason.
Jaden Dans. He's got
injured
again. Injured
again.
Yeah.
Hamstring.
So Will Wright, is he ready? I'm not sure.
You can't play. You can't play raw.
You can play them, but you can't use that.
Rely on them.
Yeah, you can't say that's who I'm going to have unless you've got no choice.
Well, you can play Dans and you can play Wright in Carling Cup games or whatever it's called now, Caribou Cup games. You can't play them in the Premierships and Champions League. You've got to get the checkbook out. But that gives you a problem.
You can if they're good enough, but I'm just not convinced any of them are good enough. It's like I'm still not convinced Rio's good enough. I know everybody raves about him, but I just don't see a special talent there at all.
Yet,
potentially. He might be brilliant in a few years. But the thing that worries me is he moved to us for a reason. He's not got any it's not like Harvey Elliott where he moved to us because he wanted to play for us. He moved to us because we were paying him more money and promising more football.
Right.
He's not
moved
to
fair
us.
Enough.
Well, yeah, fair enough, but it's not that little extra that you get from like a Harvey Elliott who wants to play for the club. He's playing for himself, and so like if somebody else, if he does turn out to be a great player, if he does become, he won't stay. He'll be a Raheem Sterling. He'll do the same. As soon as he starts, if he has a good run of form and somebody big comes in for him, he'll be on his way straight away. That's the problem with a player like that. It's the issue.
The Bayern Munich rumors as well. Yeah. There's Chiesa. Is there a world where Chiesa stays now?
I think he's got it. I don't think we can afford to let him go at the moment. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Until we bring in some reinforcements, we can't up front. We can't let him go, especially with Gakpo's future in doubt.
Well, let's talk
after
about
his
it.
dad's
I mean,
gone.
well, no, Gakpo's we got 6 weeks to buy a raft of players. We've got. Let's think about it, right? We've got to get a right back, a central right back, because let's face it, love Conor Bradley, but you can't rely on him, right?
Joe Gomez the same.
Exactly. Love Joe Gomez. Been a massive plus for the club for many years, but can't rely on him. Injury prone. So we need not an auxiliary. We need somebody that can play centre back and
right back, really, rather than centre back. Because Bradley, he's not made the progress because he's always injured.
Yeah, so and Frimpong's probably not the answer.
Yeah, he's not really a right back. He's never been a right back. So you need something else. You need an actual right back. You can't rely on Frimpong anyway because he's had a series of injuries since he's joined us as well.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
So we have to go and look. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
We have to go and look for a right back, a proper.
So yeah,
right
I think that's going to happen because we looked at Gattuso, didn't we, at Sunderland? So. And put a bid for him.
Said here that we were after Koundé, Jules Koundé as well. Which I don't know how true that is, but
I wouldn't mind him at all, to be honest with you. That'd be a plus.
Didn't he have a fair few injuries? I seem to remember him having a fair few injuries in the past.
Well,
so he's probably well suited.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he'll be better than our current right backs.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah. So okay, we need a right back. Looks like Allinson's going to stay, so we don't need a keeper. We need a
second, don't we? Unless it depends on what's happening with
Pesci.
No, Pesci's gone out on loan.
Is it? No, what's his name? Mamardashvili.
No, not Mamardashvili. He needs to go. That's it. Simple as that. He's not. Yeah. He's just not a keeper. He's not a good keeper. It was a terrible sign, and it was just a sign of how bad Edwards is at actually doing his job that he's supposed to be great at. Because he didn't have Graham to feed him the stats, so he picked the wrong man.
Somebody must have been doing the stats because they're not going to sign a player without stats. That's not just.
They looked at him, and he played well in the what was it, European competition, wasn't it? He had a good Euros, didn't he?
Oh, he played again. No, he played for Georgia, didn't he?
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah. And he's just not. But he's not a good keeper. He's just.
No, I agree. He's not the answer.
His positioning's poor. He's slow across the ground. He can't kick. And he's just not particularly good shot stopper. He's too slow to get. He's not agile enough. He's got nothing about him apart from he's big. And
he's a good shot stopper.
He's not because his position is poor. So he's miles away from it, and he doesn't move quickly enough. Not agile enough. He's big, mobile, so he can so he can cover a lot of. So he can
wingspan
out. Yeah, but he can't. And he's
not the answer.
He's got a good throw on him. That's the other thing I was going to say. He's got a good throw, but that's it. When he throws it out, it's good.
So at least we don't have to make that keeper decision for another year because I think the person's staying. That's great.
Well, I like the other lad. What's his name? Jaros. Is it Jaros?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It depends what's happening with him because I think
is he the one that's injured or is it Pesci that's injured? Didn't Jaros do his knee or his ankle?
Yeah, Jaros got injured. I don't know whether he's still injured. That's a good question. Is he still injured?
I think he did it really bad as well. I think it's like a season-ending injury it was for him.
Let's see if I can find bloody advert. Did he? It's not.
You don't even know his first name to put it in.
Is still no. I was just looking to see if it's mentioned. No, they're not even mentioning him. They've not even mentioned him because he's still listed as down as probably Ajax, isn't he, from last season?
Yeah. So, all right. So we need a right back. We need a right back stroke centre back. We need a central midfielder because
Siddiqui type, I think.
I mean, let's go with
Siddiqui.
But let's look. All right, let's talk about that. Right, look at the. let's bring this forward. Rodgers for 117 million to Chelsea. So somebody like Siddiqui is going to cost you 70, 80 million
Totally
pounds.
different type of player. Rodgers is an attacking midfielder, goal scorer. He scores goals out of nowhere.
What about
it's
Anderson?
like
He was 130 million. He's not an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, but he's England regular, so he counts as homegrown.
I don't know. I don't think Sunderland will let. Well, that's
I
a
don't
good
think
point
they'll let
about
him
the
go.
homegrown thing.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let him go cheap, but I don't think I don't think he'll cost 100 million either.
Well, no, I'm saying he's cost 100 million, but it'll be 60, 70 at least.
But
That's the going rate
if
now.
Anderson's cost, I like Anderson.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think Anderson's brilliant. But if Anderson's 110 or whatever it was,
130 it was.
No, it's less than that. 'Cause it was less than Rodgers.
I thought it was 130 with add-ons or something.
That you might be euros, maybe. It's less than Rodgers. Definitely less than Rodgers.
Have a look at that quickly.
Okay. Oh, no, it doesn't load the page. Doesn't bloody load this time, does it?
Oh, don't worry about it.
It's human verification now, because it. Right.
Well, that's you
I
screwed
hate
then.
these humans. Yeah, look, it's horrible
You
because you have
gotta
to pick
just
pictures,
guess.
and I'm like, I've got no idea whether that is that a hat. I don't fucking know. It doesn't look
Is that
like
a
a hat
traffic
to
light?
me.
Looks like a fucking traffic light to me.
Yeah, I know. It's like so. Fucking hell, where's the what am I looking for?
Anderson
Yes.
transfer fee.
Yeah, what club did he join? I've forgotten now. Man City, wasn't
Man
it?
City from Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Where is it? God, the adverts are messing everything up. No, it's not even listed. Oh, there he is. Got it. So yeah, they're saying 135 million euros though.
Okay.
Transfer. So what's that? 110, something
Well,
like that.
fair
Which
enough,
is what they were saying. Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
less
yeah,
than
yeah.
Rodgers. I remember because the reason
Gotcha.
why I know that is because Villa said, "Do we want more than they paid for?"
Gotcha.
Was paid for Anderson.
But I
You need to
feel
break that record for a midfielder.
we're at fault here. We paid 135, 125 for Isaac and 110 for Bertsy. So I think we started this merry-go-round.
Certainly did up the ante, didn't we?
Absolutely. All right. So we've got so let's talk about the players we talked about positions we need. We probably need about 5 or 6 players. No joke. We probably need about 5, 6 players. We've got 6 weeks to do it.
How could you spend 450 million in the summer and you end up with the squad that's worse than the squad you had before you spent that money?
We said this
How
last
does
season.
this happen?
So unbalanced.
Yeah. I mean, it's just huge. I mean, it's just spent so badly.
Poorly. Yeah. Ill-judged, to be kind. All right. So 6 weeks to get probably a minimum of 4 players, because obviously you can't do it all in one go. Then do you keep the players that are already that you think we were going to sell? Look at there's Elliot. What do you think? Stay or go?
I'd keep Elliot myself.
Keep him. We're not going to get any money for him.
Even if we were, I think what he offers is I like him. I don't see why. I know a lot of people say he's not strong enough. He's not. It's things you can teach him. The issue isn't that the heart's there, and that's something you can't teach a player.
In a high pressing team, he'd be fabulous.
Yeah, he's great for Klopp.
Yeah,
and he said that he missed the regret he has is he didn't play him more.
Klopp we'd have won the season that when he got. I think Elliot got injured against Leeds, and it took him out for most of the season.
Yeah, totally accidental. Even though the player got sent off, which is probably unfair.
But we'd have won. I think we'd have won the title that season if Elliot had stayed fit. He was absolutely brilliant. But in a pressing side. Yeah.
I think people forget how well he played under Klopp when he was in midfield. Not as an attacker. He never played as an attacker for Klopp. People are thinking that he's going to play on the wing. He's not that good. As he showed at Villa, he's not that good on the wing. He's definitely a central midfielder. He hasn't got the pace and mobility. He's not slow. Don't get me wrong. He's not like a slug or anything, but he's not got that burst of pace.
And he played a lot of his games are subs for a Klopp as well. So he's a good substitute to bring on.
Yeah,
I keep him.
that energy
We're not,
he used to bring and lift us when we needed it.
Yeah.
Tired legs, he'd come on and just lift the game.
What we going to get for him? 10 million? It's pointless. Why take that? I mean, keep him.
The
He's
fact
going to be
Slot was trying
homegrown
to
as well.
push him out was ridiculous in the first place. That was a terrible decision. There was plenty of players there that needed to go long before Elliot.
Okay, let's talk about them. Curtis Jones, homegrown.
If he's happy as a squad player, I'm fine with him as a squad player. But he's not improved. So
He's not moved. I know you really rated him, but he's not moved on at all.
no, I mean, to be fair to him, he's never got to play in a settled position. He's never got to run it. He keeps.
Yeah.
But he keeps getting injured again. He's another one. Can't rely on him because he gets injured when he gets to run a game. So he's nothing more than a squad filler now, and which is fine if he's on a low wage and he's happy with that. Then not a problem with keeping him. But he's not he's not first choice.
I just don't think he's going to make it in a roller team. He's not. His football. I mean, he goes to Italy, he goes to Inter Milan. He'll be fantastic. He can take as many touches as he wants, and he'll be player of the season there.
He just doesn't release the ball quickly enough, and that's the issue. It's fine if you're bringing him on to see out a game.
Yeah.
But he's not a starter. No,
but you don't want to play. You don't want to pay somebody $100,000 just to come off the bench and see out games. So I really do think he'll go at the very end of the season, at the very end of the transfer window. I have a hunch Maka goes because he's 2 years left on it. No, yeah, well, whatever you say about him, if we're going to get money, now's the time to do it. 27.
I don't understand. People keep saying he had 2 good seasons and then it was just last season was shit. He was shit the first 2 seasons as well. But what he'd do is people would forget it because he'd pop up at the minute. He'd just pop up and score a goal after being shit for 89 minutes. And it's like, no, because we'd have been 3-0 up if he'd have played well. And we wouldn't have needed that last second equaliser or whatever. You know what I mean? He's just not a good player. He's not mobile enough, and he doesn't do enough for his. You know what I mean? He looks like he's working on because he looks like he's about to explode, like Kevin De Bruyne. He always has that face where he looks like he's. You're just thinking, Jesus, he's gonna burst.
Red-faced and stuff. Yeah.
But he's not actually doing anything apart from rolling around on the floor.
I think. Yeah, no, I think that this is if we're going to sell him, this is the time to get money. I listen. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to an Atletico Madrid or something like that. I don't think Real Madrid need him. I don't think he's a Mourinho type player, but
I don't know. He does roll around a lot. Mourinho likes his divers. He trains them to dive. He does. He trains them to dive. Tells them to throw themselves around. So he'd probably like him, actually.
Well, yeah.
Probably love him.
I would. My problem is, I think Gakpo stays because I just think he does.
I don't have a problem with that. He did well, and the first couple of seasons. It was last season he was poor, but everyone was poor under Slot last season. So
Yeah. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Barcola. You think it's going to happen?
Looks that way, yeah. PSG are trying to replace him, so he obviously wants to move the lad, because otherwise they wouldn't be trying to replace him. So that suggests he's going somewhere. So if it's not us, he's definitely moving, and I think it's likely to be us, because we're desperate for a winger. So, and even though he prefers to play on the left, from what I can gather, I think, we haven't got it. We're not in a position where we can care about that. We just have to take what we can get at the moment, I think.
I think there's a dearth of good wingers in the world at the moment, especially on the right. I don't mind Barcola. I really don't. I think he'll be a breath of fresh air in the Premiership. He's got pace. He's got guile. He seems like a nice guy. He can finish. I really don't have a problem with it. Listen, if that's the going rate, if that's the going rate, that's the going rate. 100 million, you know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, so I can't. I've not watched a lot. I've seen him only play a few times in Champions
Champions League,
League for
yeah.
PSG, and that's it. And
And
okay,
what do you
he
make?
didn't look good. He didn't look good for them in the Champions League, but he was coming on as sub, so
And you're
it's
not. And
you're
how
not
are you going
really
to
a team like that. When you're coming on and you're comparing to, you know,
Pravadonna?
yeah, exactly. You're comparing
I'm
him as
not
a
even going
left
to
winger to
attempt.
the best left winger in the world. It's not fair on the lad.
It's not
So
apples to apples, yeah. And
yeah,
I'm not even
it's
going to attempt to say his name. How do you say his name?
Kvaratskhelia or something like that.
That's easy for you to say.
Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, I wish it was. I need to put my teeth in before we do
Yeah,
this.
I mean, listen, they're an abundance of
Mm,
riches and talent there. They've got Due, they've got Cravadonna, they've got Barcola, they've got Dembele,
mm.
they've got the Senegalese guy and Baye.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'd
But he
buy him.
looks like he's going as well.
I'd
Yeah,
buy him.
I've got to be honest. I do wonder why we've not why he hasn't been the one, because he seems like a
He
more
looks special.
reasonable,
Yeah, he looks good. I
and he looks
mean,
likely to leave as well. So.
yeah, and he plays on the right as well, doesn't he?
Mm. Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's where I would have thought he would be. I mean, I don't like I said. Neither of them I've seen enough of to judge
Yeah.
Barcola, but we need a right winger more than anything. So,
What I'm
unless
hoping
he
is,
thinks it's Szoboszlai, maybe he'll play out there a
there
bit.
you go. Well done, mate. Let's talk about Szoboszlai's new contract. What do you think?
I'm glad. Well, I love Szoboszlai. So, obviously, because not just because we look so much alike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
It's the hair, right?
No,
And the
he
film
just has
star
the
good
hair, so
looks.
he doesn't, so we don't get confused to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
So that's the
yeah,
problem when I wear the shirt with his name on the back. People always like to assume it's the real. It's you get mobbed.
yeah. So you have a jersey saying "slob" at the back as well, right? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I
You
got you
set them
to
up and
spell
I'll
it.
knock them
Yeah, I
down.
got you to spell it.
Yeah. No,
You can't
I,
spell anything. I tell you what you are. Do you know why I love you so much? It's because you break down these, the stereotypes. Because you get the stereotypes of Asian men where they're hardworking, intelligent, and overachievers. And then we have you just to prove that the stereotypes are total
breaking down
bollocks.
barriers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slobber's lie. Slobber's lie. I think obviously that's good news.
Yeah.
Um,
Captain?
he's yeah, I suppose. I mean, Virgil ain't captain material. I
Oh.
don't think he's not. He can't do two jobs at the same time. I don't think he can multitask.
Oh, he was awful as captain last season. Absolute disaster.
Would he get the captaincy taken from him this season, or is it be?
I hope so. When
I don't
when
think
it
they do.
happened for Huppier and he was struggling for
Yeah,
form, they took the captaincy off and gave it to Gerrard, and Hippier was fine with it because he realised that his form, he was off form and that, and it needed to be, and obviously Gerrard, he was so much better than everybody else. What can you say? But his form afterwards, he had a
true. Yeah,
renaissance. Yeah, he had a renaissance and got back in the team and was a regular. You know what I mean? Was playing really well again. So maybe it could happen for Virgil if he doesn't have to worry about anything else, just playing.
I don't think they'll do it to him though. That would be just a slap in the mouth for him. I think. I just think
Especially as we're so short of experience at the back.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't
I
think they
mean,
want to risk rocking the boat, do you? When he's the only
yeah.
one.
I mean, look, who've we got at the back? We've got Leone still injured. He's not going to be ready for a while. He's gone on the trip to the States, but that doesn't mean that they've just taken him. I think they've taken him.
He's in
They've taken,
rehab. He's
yeah,
rehab,
yeah,
back on
yeah,
grass and that. But
yeah.
he's probably not going to
He's
be
way
ready to
off.
play. Yeah,
Yeah, way off. I think they've taken Wright, Abe, the kids, the two kids. They've taken Leone.
taking a few kids, quite a lot
You
of them.
take it. Well, there's nobody else to take.
Yeah.
Everybody's off for the World Cup holidays and
The only reason that Ndai hasn't gone, is he Senegalese? The lad
Cameroonian. Was it
Cameroonian, yes.
Senegal? Yeah,
Well,
Cameroonian.
was he Sonic? I can't remember. Anyway, the only
One
reason
of
he hasn't
two.
gone is visa issues, isn't it?
Yeah, he looks good by all accounts, right?
Yeah, he does. I'm quite looking forward to seeing him make his, to make this step up because he's supposed to be a bit special, like. And obviously Dan's hasn't gone because he's injured again. I think his time's at an end, to be honest. And I've got to be honest, I don't see a player in there, to be honest. Not at Liverpool level. I just
Who?
don't see Jaden Dan's.
Ben. Yeah. Okay.
He's a decent finisher, but everything else isn't there. He's not got the movement. He's not got the pace. He's not got the. He has got nice skill. That's the thing. He's got lovely technique, but he's not got enough about his game to say that lad's going to make it, even through
But can,
even if he didn't
but
have
can
the
you make
injuries.
that assumption on such a small? He's only played a few games, and that's not even regular. I mean, he's played in Carling Cup games, and he's not been put in at the deep end. The Premiership games give him a run, and
Yeah, I know, and he might turn. Prove me
he might
completely
be a
wrong,
late
but there's
bloomer.
something about the way he moves and that I just don't see. He doesn't seem like he's got the physicality, but it
He's
seems
a
like it's
big lad.
difficult for him. Now
Yeah.
that might
Okay.
just be because he's growing into his
Going
frame,
into
obviously,
yeah.
which can happen. I mean, some players they do, and then when they get their sorted, their balance is sorted and all that, and as they get, they grow into their frame, is so to speak. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Like
they
Gerard did. Yeah.
come, yeah. But Gerard stood out a mile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Owen and Fowler stood out a mile. You watch people like Dan's, and in Rio's the same. For me, they're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
not. They're not
Yeah.
even close same level. And okay,
Yeah.
not every player is going to be a Gerard, a
Yeah.
Fowler, or an Owen
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
age. But Sterling was another one. He stood out so much more than Rio
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
looks, I do worry if we're going to rely on him. Iriola's going to have to work miracles to get him because he
Well, let's
looks a
see
couple
what.
of years off at least.
Well, let's just see. Yeah, I don't see him. Yeah, I mean, he's only 16, 17. He's
Yeah,
17.
exactly.
It's
Exactly.
not his
So it's not
fault.
like it's not like I'm saying he's never going to make it, but he just looks a long way off ready.
It's the supporters' fault and the club's fault for putting so much pressure on him at such an early
Oh,
age.
he
I
wants
mean,
it though.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that like you're right. He's not a Michael Owen at 17, right? He's not a Robbie Fowler at 17. They were in a different stratosphere.
Gerrard as well,
Gerard
magnificent.
as well.
Do you
Yeah,
remember it
but he
came
was
in? Didn't he play? He played centre back and right back as his first
right back. He was a better
career.
right back. In
Oh,
my
he was
opinion, he was a better
fabulous.
right back than he was central midfielder. I mean, I'll go to the
That's right
grave with that.
winger was
Yeah,
his best. He was
he was fabulous.
superb, absolutely
Absolutely
brilliant.
fabulous. I think I'm going to go as far as saying I really do think he was a better right midfielder than he was a centre midfielder. He was incredible,
Yeah,
incredible.
because it didn't matter that he was getting caught ball watching at times and he doesn't trap back where sometimes he fall asleep defensively and that it's not so important on the wing. It's not so much of an issue as it was when he was playing in the centre.
Yeah, when you can cut in and shoot
Yeah.
like that, put crosses in like that as well. Yeah, but yeah, so I just think Richard Hughes. I just worry about Richard Hughes because we need all these players. We need a big 6 weeks. Whether he's going to have the money to do that, it depends on the outs. The ins depends on the outs. But what
Who have
is
we
he going
got
to
to
do?
sell?
What's that?
Who have we got to sell for big money?
Exactly. McAllister's the only one that I can
I,
think of. And Gakpo. I mean, that's the only two players. But
but
I
then
just
you've got
don't
to
understand.
improve on them. And McAllister easily improved. Don't you just buy any player who can actually run? So that's a simple thing because we don't. What we need, what we're lacking, is a bit of. We've got Sabozlai who's got legs in there,
Yeah,
and that's it. The rest of
yeah,
them, I mean, Gravenberch can shift, but he's just half asleep most of the time. You know what I mean? He doesn't. He tends to just roam forward and not and then just stand around. You know what I mean? He doesn't run about enough. He doesn't put himself about enough. He's just not that type of player. He's too laid back. You
I
need
just,
somebody like us. I'm going to say Siddiqui again, just because like
yeah,
he's the one that comes to mind. You need a player like that in there. Can't do it. It can't be Shabazz because we need him to be doing more. He's too creative, too good on the ball
yeah,
to be doing all the running he had to do last season. It wasted his talents the way
yeah,
Slot had
yeah,
it. Where he had
yeah.
to cover everything. It's brilliant to watch. I mean, there's footage of him where he's running, and he'd run from like in our box to the other box for our winger to whoever was out there. I can't remember whoever was playing with the ball out wide, lost the ball. He's raced back before players in midfield have got by. He's overtaken the whole midfield to get back from their box to our box again, and then the ball goes out of play for a goal kick, and you're thinking, and he's covered run up and down twice, and most of the midfields, most of the rest of the team have only gone 10, 15 yards at the same time because they're just not running
Yeah.
like him. They're not putting in the effort, and
He's not a water carrier like
no,
Kante or Deschamps.
yeah, we
He's a
need him to be creating on the ball, so we need somebody to take
we
away
need
that, so he
we
doesn't have to
need
do all that.
we need him and Wirtz in tandem
Yeah.
creatively, whereas we need a water carrier
Mhm.
behind them.
Yeah.
And let's hope Irola or
He
Richard Hughes
likes
can
that type
magic
of
one up.
player.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm
If
saying.
Tyler Adams at
Yeah,
Bournemouth, he
but
played
that's what
him
I'm saying.
constantly.
Let's hope that exactly. But I hope Hughes and the club give him that, give him that platform, because the thing is, I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything, but I see problems ahead because we've got 6 weeks and we've got to buy and sell players within 6 weeks and mount a title run.
Mm.
I just don't see it. I just think we've got to keep our expectations low.
I don't think we've got it for the title run, not this season.
No,
I'd
I just
love us
think
to. I think it'll be a late. It'll start off. It'll be a slow burner for us. He'll have to build them into it, especially because of the World Cup and players coming back late.
yeah, yeah.
That's held it back. If we'd been in and he'd had the players in and a normal pre-season and that, I think we'd have been we'd have been fine. But because this is going to be gradually bleeding in the players and they're not, you know what I mean? It's going to be a slow build up, and it'll be like Bournemouth last season where they started off well. Obviously, they had a good run at the start, but then
You
they had
lost
that
10
bad
games, didn't you?
patch. Yeah, they
You
had a
lost
bad
10 games, yeah.
patch because their players are out injured and that. And I think we're going to have that bit. We're starting off from like that bit rather than the bit where at the beginning where they just
Yeah.
where he's going to have to start build and then. But once he gets it going, we'll be fine. It will push. It would. I can't see any. I can't see us missing out on Champions League under him. I think he's good enough that he can get
Yeah.
round any problems. I mean, you
I
only have
just,
to look at the way he dealt with it. They lost their entire defence, and then partway through the season, when the transfer window had just shut after January transfer window, they find out that the right back's a nonce, and they have to drop him as well, and he can't replace him. So he's just got to find a solution within. So we ended up playing a midfielder in, was it Lewis Cook, or that Smith, who's like 95 years old and was shit anyway. You know what I mean? He was having to make do amend with those two, and he still
oh,
managed to keep the results going.
that reminds me, the Bournemouth defender at PSG, apparently with strong rumours about him coming as well, right?
Sabanya, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be a good buy.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, that'd be a really good buy. Because I remember everybody was talking about Houston,
Yeah,
and I
Hussein,
thought
yeah.
he was as good
Mm.
as Houston. Yeah,
Yeah, they were a
so
great pairing. They were
they really were.
fitted well together.
The only problem I see with this transfer thing is that when you're leaving a job, you're not 100% until the last day. That's my only fear, that Richard Hughes.
Do you think Hughes was ever 100%? He still lived in Bournemouth. He never even bothered moving up. And I know people are going to say, you don't need to move to do that job. It's not the point. You still need to be around the club. You need to be looking in and seeing what the players are like. He should have been watching training, seeing what players, what players are going down injured constantly. He should be seeing what players are in or out of form. He should have been looking at things like that to know what he needed to plan for. You know what I mean? He should have been there constantly overlooking it. But he's not even bothered to come up. He barely said, he barely even visits Liverpool. It's
Well, that's not.
so
That's
like
not.
good
That listen,
riddance.
listen. That's not his fault. That's Michael Edwards' fault.
Yeah, because he shouldn't have
Because
been given a job on that.
no,
Same with
no,
Slot.
yeah,
Shouldn't have been given
exactly.
the
But
plot job unless they move over properly and they
yeah,
do it 100%. Yeah.
listen. If as a plodder, as a worker, you're going to try and extract as much benefit as you can from your job, right? You're not, if you've got any sense. And he works. He negotiated a good contract. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, I don't
he
blame
worked
him
from
for that.
home. Yeah. So
But
the person you blame for that is his boss.
that was a terrible decision to appoint him and let him just stay living in. And it's the same with any player. Dude, we should have learned a lesson when we had that. We had this same problem with Collymore. And he'd just phone up and say, "Oh, there's too much traffic." And he hadn't even
Yeah.
fucking got out of bed.
Yeah.
He'd
Yeah.
just phoning in. He just wouldn't bother turning up for training because he couldn't be asked. And this is the problem when they're not there. And they're not. It's not just that, especially with the club. With the football club, you need them to be there because they need to live in the city. They need to get the vibe of the place. They don't fall in love with. You look at someone like Thiago Alcantara, the way he's fallen in love. He fell in love with Liverpool, even though he didn't have a particularly good time because of injuries. But he fell in love, and a lot of the ex-Liverpool players, you can tell the ones that actually moved to the area and got involved with it.
But you know what the
It
common
changed.
denominator, what the common denominator there was, right? Jurgen Klopp.
Well, it's
He didn't
Liverpool as well.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly. But nobody fucked around with
Mm.
Klopp there. Everybody was a soldier.
Well,
You
because you
know?
had to. He
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
stand
just
for it.
exactly.
He may be come across as like a cuddly teddy bear and that sometimes because you see him hugging everyone, but he was stern and he expected everyone to work their backside off. He worked his backside off
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
expected you to do the same. And that's how it should be. Everyone should be putting in
absolutely,
100%.
absolutely. Listen, I
That's
just hope
the bare minimum.
I listen. Let's just hope there's a change of culture with people leaving, with personnel in the squad and in the suits, and let's just hope it gets back to a winning culture. So
Well, Iriola won't stand for slackers. If you're a
I hope
slacker,
so.
you'll be gone. Honestly,
Really?
he doesn't. Oh, he. One of the things, the most important thing, as they've said, haven't you seen the podcast where they're talking about it? The players, ex-Bournemouth players, you don't get
No
days
days
off.
off.
Yeah, you don't get days off. You're training constantly. You know what I mean? He keeps you working your backside off.
Well, they've had plenty of days off last year, so
Yeah,
they owe us a few days. Yeah, exactly.
they're on fucking holiday nearly all the time.
I mean,
Ah,
all right. Listen, that's on our past. We've got a glorious future to look ahead to. Hopefully.
yeah.
All right, mate.
Well,
On that positive note, let's
yeah.
call it quits.
Oh, and good luck, Iriola, for the season ahead.
Absolutely, mate. I echo that. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
All right, guys. Welcome to the CUNT Liverpool podcast. We've been. Hey, what?
CUNT's the other one.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Welcome to the Allez, Liverpool podcast. We haven't done one for a while for various reasons, but we're back now.
Mostly my